It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That's from the latest LA Guns release, Hollywood Forever, and You Better Not Love Me. And unfortunately, I'm not really sure what was going on there, Chris. You told me this week that Stacey Blades of LA Guns fame has left the band.
He is out of the La Guns.
He just left?
He left. He made a statement and said, "Fuck you, pal."
Really? No, seriously, what happened?
Musical and artistic differences.
Musical and artistic differences?
He says, "This isn't an easy announcement, but as of this month, I will no longer be playing guitar for LA Guns. I dearly wish Phil, Scotty, and Steve continued success. It's been a crazy 10-year ride filled with some amazing tours, albums, and memories to last a lifetime. Due to extenuating circumstances and musical differences, I have decided not to continue with the band."
Musical differences?
That's what he said.
That guy fit the band like a glove.
Well, maybe he didn't want to fit the band like a glove anymore.
Okay.
Let's see. LA Guns was a dream come true, but life is full of new beginnings and journeys. I will be taking some time off and have some different things lined up that I will share with you in the near future. I would like to first and foremost thank the fans for allowing me into their hearts. You guys rule. Hope to see you all soon. That's his statement.
So after this month, so basically he isn't just like booted out of the band like immediately. He's just saying, okay, as of this date, I'm leaving.
If there's any dates for the rest of the year, I guess they'll play them before Tracy comes back. I mean, before they make their move to their next guitar player.
But is that what you're thinking? Tracy is coming back?
Yes, of course.
Well, again, I'm just asking your opinion here, or do you know something I don't?
No, I don't. I don't know anything, and you know my history with Tracy. It's not like I'm going to get anything from him. But
okay, so you think somewhere down the road that Phil and Steve have mended their ways with Tracy, and Tracy is going to come back?
Well, Tracy, as you remember, in September, killed off his version of the band.
Okay.
And I don't know if you remember this part or not, but also in September, Phil and Steve put out a public statement, wishing Tracy the best, post that band of LA Guns. So you just have to think that a phone call or two was made. What are you doing? Price is Right isn't paying the bills. So time to get back to being in the band that actually makes you enough money to eat.
Sure. Well, I if that's the case, and we both usually have a good sense about these things,
right?
That is obviously the place for Tracy to be.
Well, yeah,
because
he hasn't done shit since he left.
Well, regardless of that, the LA Guns, the Guns in LA Guns is Tracy Guns.
Right, sure.
So, Tracy had LA Guns before Steve and Phil were even in the band.
Right. So
it would be like Axl Rose being Guns N' Roses.
Right.
Without Tracy Guns, because the Guns in Guns N' Roses is Tracy Guns.
Right. Well, they sort of did that, though.
Yeah, but they did, and they were very successmal with it.
Right.
But my point is how could the namesake of the band not be in the band?
Well, it'd be like Van Halen not being in Van Halen.
Exactly. It would be like Eddie Van Halen not being the guitarist in Van Halen.
It'd be like Doug Pinnick being the new singer of Dokken.
Isn't he?
Well, according to what I've heard lately, I would have swore that was new Dokken.
Well, maybe I should ask Jeff that later on.
Well, maybe.
Okay. So anyway, I'm sorry to be honest with you. I've had a very personal relationship with the guys in LA Guns, both right. Steve and Tracy and Stacey. Stacey, actually, if you go over to the LA Guns website, he's wearing a Classic Metal Show T-shirt on stage.
So we need to talk him into reconsidering.
And every time I run into him, he's like, dude, that shirt is awesome. I really liked it. It's up on the website. Did you see I'm just like, yeah, I did. Thanks.
It's great.
Yeah, so to see Stacey leave, that's sad. If Tracy's coming back, I get it.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of glad.
Do you think it adds any value to LA Guns?
It's hard to say, It's tough because LA Guns is kind of a faceless band.
Yeah.
They people don't, in general, not the hardcores, but just in general, they don't go, oh yeah, Steve and Phil and Tracy. They either go, oh yeah, I like Electric Gypsy, or I like
Jane or whatever.
Yeah,
right.
they don't sit there and name names, So that's a tough one to call.
Right.
But, if that is the case, and this is all speculative because you don't know, I don't know, but it's just kind of weird that Stacey would just depart all of a sudden.
Well, it is if it is all of a sudden, but you know what? He's been a quiet guy for 10 years, too, so this is the first time we're ever hearing him really make any public statement.
But my point is that his style as Stacey Blades is made for LA Guns. So,
absolutely.
So I have a tough time thinking musical differences.
Yeah.
I don't see him saying, oh, you know what? I think we should be more of a Nirvana tribute band.
Yeah.
I don't see that.
Watch him turn up in like Five Finger Death Punch or something.
Yeah, but I don't see that. Stacey isn't that kind of a guitarist. He's a very classic blues bass style guitarist. I don't really see him doing anything really crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, who knows? I mean, contrast. I just brought up Five Finger Death Punch. Didn't Jason Hook end up in that band?
Yeah, but Jason Hook plays with anybody. He played with Mandy Moore.
Right, but
so he's a money guy.
But he started out though artistically with what, Bullet Boys?
Yeah,
or whatever?
He was in Bullet Boys. He did Mandy Moore. But the thing is he's one of those guys, a la George Lynch, who will just sort of adapt his style to whatever's happening.
Right, Will Strum for food.
Yeah, I don't see Stacey Blades being that kind of guy. Now, granted, Stacey isn't exactly a household name or somebody that sticks out in your mind as, oh, wow, that guy's like the most awesome guitarist.
Right.
But for the LA Guns fit, he fit well.
He did. I mean, I saw that band a couple times with Stacey. He was great.
So for him to be just leaving and saying that there's musical and directional differences, I don't believe that. All I can say is, and I'm going to go with your assumption, that Tracy's probably going to come back.
I would think so. I mean, what else is he doing?
Yeah. So we'll see. That remains to be seen.
Yeah, but interesting. I mean, it's a band that if I could talk. It's a band that both you and I really, really enjoy, so we're interested.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. So that's your prediction for 2013, that if the world doesn't implode in the next 7 days, Tracy Guns will be back in LA Guns.
And how fucked up will it be if the world doesn't?
Well, at that point, what difference does it make?
Yeah, I guess what difference does it make? But damn, do you think that all of us listening tonight and talking tonight will, if the world does start fucking imploding at like noon next Friday, do you think everybody's gonna be like, fuck, I should have done more shit that I didn't do because I thought it was bullshit?
Well, it's too late.
Too late now, pal.
Yeah, too late.
I would ask all of our fans, if the world does start imploding, please listen to the Classic Metal Show as the last thing you do. Please.